Hello everyone, welcome to Unmask. I know that it's been a very long time since I last recorded an episode, and in an attempt to just ease back into this recording and sharing thing, I've decided to do a little catch-up session where we can just talk about how the unmasking journey has been going so far. And I just decided to write that down so that if I do go off on a tangent, I can remind myself what I'm talking about. Yeah guys, so there is some music playing in the background. I hope that it is not too loud. I did move outside so that you guys can hopefully hear me. Anyway, unmasking, it's obviously been going great. Like once the journey starts, there's really no going back, and I honestly just feel like it's one of those things that it's a process of becoming, because you're creating yourself and you're constantly evolving and expanding, so it doesn't end. But like honestly, it's so rewarding, but it's so challenging at the same time. But like obviously, with most things in life, like most things worth having, they don't really come easily. And even sometimes when like things do start coming together and it feels like it happens easily, it didn't come easy, wow, that I don't even know how I got there. But anyway, last time I recorded was around February. I did try to record a few episodes like since then, and then like small inconveniences, like I was just, maybe I'd be recording and then someone would interrupt me, or I would be recording, like something would always happen, like maybe there's an issue with the audio. And then there was a time where I didn't have a phone for a little bit, so like a lot of things have been happening, and I was sick. And I was like, this is the perfect time. I'm stuck in bed. I'm going to record. It wasn't working out. And then I just decided to take a break. Because I was also still going through things. Life is still happening. But some of the things that I was really focusing on, like, okay, I wanted to, just talk about, like, in one of the episodes, I wanted to talk about unmasking and like what it really is, just to like remind some of you guys. Maybe like some people don't really get it. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like I wasn't really like clear on like what is unmasking really, And so unmasking, it's really about journeying inwards, journeying within yourself in order to discover, create, heal, and learn just like new parts and like everything that you can about yourself, And I think one thing that I have realized is that even like relationships with other people, they teach you a lot about yourself. So like every relationship that you have is essentially a relationship with yourself. And I know that sounds so weird, but like when you sit down and really think about some of the things in your life, sometimes they really are linked. And like for me, like here's a random example, like whenever I'd have a job, like a 9-to-5 job, I'd always have like very weird bosses, like that are kind of scary or terrifying in some way. Like even if the person is nice, like as a boss, they'd be very strict and like in a like a way that made me kind of uncomfortable, and it would make me feel anxious, And you'd be like, okay, dude, but like what kind of what does this teach you about yourself? And I just realized that like a lot of the times when I'm in a position where there's like an authority figure, I'd always be like terrified in some way of that person. And I think it's because at home, like my parents were very strict, I have a very strict parent, and like that's just the relationship that I feel like we had in a way. So yeah, I had to like deal with that, And now in like the work that I do, the people that I work for are not terrifying people who I'm like really scared of, but I'm still working on it in like certain ways where like I just have to like stop scaring myself, because essentially there's that voice in your head that's the one that's like scaring you and telling you, yeah, this is what they're gonna say, this is gonna happen, and then none of that stuff happens and you are terrified for no reason. Yeah, and then that also just led me to just discovering how sometimes like I have a tendency to self-sabotage. And okay, let me pause right there and just say, guys, like if you haven't already caught on, it's gonna be a long one. We're catching up. I have a cup of tea. I have I think it's like a berry and petal, something like that. Some like a floral tea with berries. So I think you must get yourself a beverage or something, like something warm, something nice, something, where you can just sit down and be cozy, and just listen. So I'm going to like keep quiet for a few seconds and then you'll pause and then we'll keep going. And hopefully I haven't lost my train of thought. Okay, so self-sabotage. So the ways that I had, like, okay, I don't know if I'm ready to just like dive in that deep, but yeah, anyway, I just realized that I have a tendency to self-sabotage, and I was like, yeah, I want to work on it, let's see, like, how do people who also have the same thing cope with it, and other people who have like who do this in similar ways to me, and how do they what do they do, what have they done to like work on this. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I think with everything I've noticed, like in life, actually, guys, it's like with bad habits, they're almost like addictive in a sense. It's like you can't, every day it's the fight. You're fighting yourself, like, let me do the right thing, it's like you have to choose to do the right thing. And I think that's another thing that I'm learning. Like, okay, I feel like a lot of the time, like, we'll go through a lot of things and essentially they're teaching me like, yeah, one thing again, back to this one, like, because you're not learning. But like, you just have to come to terms with the fact that like, in life there'll always be something that's going on, and like, I think you just have to learn to create peace within yourself, because there'll always be like some sort of chaos happening around you. Like, just choose not to focus on it, focus on the positive things, and also focus on the things that are within your control. And I'm not saying like now you must act like ignore your problems, no, but like, the problems are not the only things that you have in your life. So you don't have to focus on your problems all day. If there's nothing you can do about it, then like, leave it alone. So damn, that was a mouthful. Yeah, that's what I think that's like something that I have to take on with every challenge that I've been facing. I literally have to just tell myself, Ubuti, like, focus on what's in your control. Stay calm, because guys, geez, okay, yeah, this one is getting very long. One thing that damn it, I'm just gonna put this in my tea. One thing that I realized is that, my mom and I were having this conversation, and okay, my mom is like a Christian woman, okay, she's like prayer warrior, those ladies who, if she's gonna tell you something, like, it might have like some sort of Christian undertones to it, or like the story might, anyway, you get it. If you don't, it's fine, honestly, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so my mom was just saying that like, when your blessings are close, like sometimes the devil would distract you, you know, that's when the devil comes to distract you, and then you just start like focusing on other things. And I can't remember the way she said it, but essentially that's what she was saying. And then for me, because like I have to obviously like interpret the message in a way that makes sense to me, but I do like obviously talk to her to like validate, like, is this what you're saying? And then if she says yes, then obviously I'm on the right track. So for me, it's like sometimes, dude, good things are coming into your life, right? Or you're expecting them, and then, or like someone just comes, they're having a bad day, and they just come and they just really like give you like an attitude or do something to like try and mess up your day, and then you can either let that affect you, how you feel, and like really like just ruin the good mood that you are in, or you could like just let it pass, you know. But then there's also sometimes there's moments where life surprises you and good things just happen out of nowhere, like things that you weren't really expecting, you know. Like sometimes maybe you're applying for a job and then like you're waiting for a response from that specific job, you don't get it. But then sometimes you get a call from like someone who is a recruiter who found your CV online, and then they think that you might be perfect for this job, and then you like, okay, cool, whatever, and then it turns out you're perfect for this job, you get this job, you know, whatever. Like the universe, sometimes it will surprise you like that. Like, yeah, and that job was probably even better than all the jobs you've been applying for, because maybe you didn't even realize how amazing you are and how talented you are or whatever. But like, all I'm saying is that like you shouldn't think that just because like the things that you are hoping for are not happening, that other good things are not coming your way, you know. So don't allow like negative thoughts to linger, and don't allow negative people to mess up your space, to mess up your energy, you know. So whenever someone who comes and they just want to fight and you're not in that fighting mood, you just have to breathe through that whole experience. Don't engage with them, don't participate in the drama, because you don't want to be part of that, and they just want you to do that. That's what they want from you. So no matter how much they provoke you, breathe, and breathe. It'll be over soon. Just breathe and like go through that discomfort. And that's another thing that just applies to everything. Like, let's get a little bit personal. So like for me, you know, when you watch movies and people are giving birth and then they always tell the mom to breathe through her contractions, and then like you're like, oh, okay, breathe, she's going through something like major. But it's so true. Like when I was giving birth, oh guys, there's like a very rowdy song playing. I hope that it's not like catching on this mic. But like, yeah, anyway, I was saying, I really, when I was giving birth, actually even before that, but like when I was in labor, yeah, no, breathing is what helped me. Breathing is what got me through. And you know, I've always like dabbled in yoga, but then I like in more recent times I've been more like serious about it. And even there, when you're holding that one pose, like you have to breathe. It feels like your hip is gonna pop, and you must breathe. And that's the only thing that actually gets you through, because you feel like it's gonna, something's gonna break, and then you breathe and nothing breaks, and then you breathe and you realize, oh, okay, this kind of feels good, and then you kind of feel like, okay, something's gonna break, and then nothing breaks, and then that's life as well, like literally, like guys. But like the thing is, you have to do it every day. And that's the thing with everything that you keep learning. It's like, oh, now that you realize that you have to do this thing, it's another thing that you have to do every day. And then every single day, you have to wake up and try and remind yourself of all of those things. And I mean, it's hard, but we have things like social media, and so like YouTube really helps us, and even other social media platforms where people are constantly posting videos where they're encouraging you or reminding you of these things that you already know. Sometimes just listen and it'll remind you. This went from a catch-up session to me, I don't know, I feel like I'm telling you guys what to do, and I'm really not trying to do that. I'm not an expert. I feel like I'm talking to myself more than I'm talking to anybody else, because I cannot see anyone in front of me. So this is more like advice to myself and just reminders to myself, really. But like, honestly, just breathe and focus on the good, and eventually it pays off, because it's that thing that I said in that other episode about like focusing on like having one good day at a time. Then when you look back, you've lined up so many good days. Like for me, I've had such a great week. Like it would have been a very shitty week, because I was on like period, and like my hormones are usually just like and really when it all started, like I was just so off, and I ended up having such a lovely week. I was exploring. I got to like interact with so many amazing people. I went to the theater and I watched a dance performance. It was lovely. Okay, I've been having the time of my life. I've been meeting some very interesting people, and I think it's also just because I've been focusing on having a good day that day. And guys, like coming from a strict household, I don't know like if anyone can relate, but there are people who can relate actually. You sometimes when you leave the house, when you go back, or before you even go back, you're already thinking about how your parents are gonna act when you go back, and that's wrong. And like you should stop doing that, because you're just tormenting yourself for no reason. I don't think when like those thoughts come into my head, I just like I don't like keep adding to it. I don't interact with it. Sometimes if I do accusa myself, I'll just be like and I do it out loud so that I really do snap out of it, because it makes me look like, okay, shit, like was I saying that out loud or whatever. Like it makes me think about something else. And yeah, that's another thing. Like don't do that to yourself, like stop thinking about things that haven't even happened, and you even convincing yourself that this thing that I'm making up, it's real, it's true, it's gonna happen, this is what always happens. But no, it's not. Like sometimes there are days where like your parents don't even they don't care, they just like okay, you're here, whatever, and then everyone just keeps living their lives. And I think that's one thing that at least focus on having a day like that, and also, why are you thinking about your grumpy parents? Have a good day. So that's how the unmasking journey has been going. I don't know, I feel like that was very informative, guys. I was even like telling you guys very personal things. So clearly there's some growth happening, and I really, really hope that rowdy song is not like, there's two songs that are doing a lot out here, because I'm sitting outside on a roof somewhere. Yeah, you guys don't know. Anyway, I think I must just stop it here. I don't know how long. Oh, but now it just got quiet. Let's see what else. Okay, let's talk more about like journeying inwards. Let's do a little bit of unpacking, because as much as I have said a lot, I didn't really unpack a lot of things. But journeying inwards, honestly, it can be very uncomfortable at first, and I guess it's because you have to honestly look at yourself and look at your behavior, look at your patterns, and like be honest with what really needs to change, and like what makes you uncomfortable. Why does it make you uncomfortable? Like listen to the answers that you get when you ask yourself those questions, and you listen, and you don't even judge yourself for it. You don't judge, you just listen to this, and your intention is to get to know yourself, so, and you also want to change to become better, right? So you have to let this, like when you do this, just focus on making this the year that you actually like learn from the mistakes that you've made, you know. So listen to the answers that you get when you ask yourself these questions. Don't judge yourself, don't be upset, don't associate them with emotions. Just listen, you know, because like, you know, like when this is something that we've heard before, and I think we've all experienced this in some way, like the lesson will keep coming back, you know, and it's like a cycle. Each time it gets more painful than before, you know, because it's like when you knew better but you didn't do better, you know, you went against your own judgment. That's why it hurts, because you know what you did wrong. But you know, sometimes like it's like being in a relationship with someone who's bad for you, and like you don't know it, you know, it's okay. But once you do know, even once you leave, you're like, dude, why didn't I leave sooner? Because I knew that this person was not good for you, like being late, you know, it's that. And you have to let go of like harmful patterns. So it's very uncomfortable, because you're fighting yourself every day, but you're really not. Like, you have to remember why you're doing this. You're doing this to make yourself better. You're doing this to improve yourself, you know. You want to learn from your mistakes. So you have to let go of harmful patterns, and you have to be really honest with yourself. And this doesn't mean that you have to do everything all at once, you know. You focus on one thing at a time, because like I said, most of these things are things that you like just have to carry with you. So like once something has become like a habit, then you start focusing on another one, you know. Then you won't overwhelm yourself. And if you fall off, it's okay, just start again. Like, don't now want to make yourself feel bad, make yourself feel guilty, and you know, like shame yourself. Just start again, dude, because you're on the same team, you know, you're on your own team. So like there's no reason for you to be mean, you know, and like make this journey harder than it already is. And also, don't do things to please other people, you know, like that. That one, we don't see it sometimes when we do it. We think of it in a very like shallow way, but sometimes it can be very deep, especially with like relationships with like people that mean a lot, like in our lives. This tea is so good. So yeah, you know, like don't do things to please other people. And how you know that you're not doing this for you, doing it for someone else? How you feel when you're gonna do that thing? If you don't really want to do it, but you're doing it, but like there's a feeling, there's that feeling where you know it's not you, where it feels like you're betraying yourself. That's where you know you're people pleasing, and you must listen and rather deal with the discomfort of choosing yourself than the discomfort of not choosing yourself, you know. I'd rather be like, like the other person's just mad because you didn't do something that they wanted, but like at least you didn't betray yourself, and I feel like that's a win. And I think once you start getting used to those wins, it's less uncomfortable, because you're not doing it in a malicious way. Like you just genuinely don't want to do something, or you can't do something. You know, sometimes you really can't, and people want you to somehow do things that you really cannot do. So now you're gonna force no. Anyway, radical acceptance. That's gonna help you a lot with this unmasking journey, you know, because you have to accept that maybe things aren't what you want and they're not the way that you are, but you accept them just as they are. You know, you choose to focus on the next best step to get to wherever it is where you're trying to go, and to get things to however they're supposed to be. You know, you don't sit and shame and guilt. I've been saying this. You have to accept, guys, where you are. Yes, I'm not where I want to be, but doesn't mean I'm not going to get there, you know. And it just means like reminding yourself that it's okay, that things aren't working out right now, you know. Sorry guys, there is a helicopter flying right above my head. Anyway, I was saying it's okay, you know. Things are working out. They are. And I'm not saying this from a place of like, yeah, guys, things have come together. Hey. Things have not come together yet, but I believe that they are for me. And you need to believe that for you. You know, this is not about like us believing it for each other. I mean, I do believe it for you guys, but it doesn't matter how much I believe it. If you don't believe it for yourself, yabo, that's what I'm saying. Should we just like stop it right there? Like, I feel like the conversation is so long. Well, let's keep it going. So, yeah, I've said a lot. Yeah, unmasking journey, hey? Yeah, journeying inwards. I hope you guys are taking notes, hey? I hope you are taking notes. You have to surround yourself with people who see you and who understand you and love you. People who respect you and people who respect themselves. And I keep emphasizing the you because now we must be that person who sees you, understands you, loves you, respects you, okay? Because that means like someone who respects you for you with your flaws and all, not only when you are 100%, but sometimes you're not there, you know, you're not really like, you can't really show up as your full self, but it's still you. But then there are people who don't love you when you're not fully like what they need you to be all the time, you know. Then you shouldn't be around those people. So now you have to love and accept yourself as you are, and that doesn't mean that you must be okay with your flaws. It means that you are aware of them and you're working to change them. You're not gonna sit around all day calling yourself like fat or whatever just because you want to lose weight, you know. Like, you're aware that, yeah, I'm not happy with my weight, but I don't hate myself because of my weight. I'm just gonna work on myself and like lose the weight or gain the weight or whatever it is you want to do with your weight, because you love yourself. It's an act of love, you know. Maybe you feel like, yeah, I'm too skinny, I want to gain some weight, and you, out of love, you want to eat better because maybe you don't eat, you know, you've got an eating disorder, you just don't eat enough, you forget to eat because you're too stressed out or whatever. Or it doesn't have to be about eating or your image, it could just be anything, you know. Yeah, you have to do that for yourself first, and then you'll be able to find people who also do that, because other people will do it, you won't believe them, you'll like even like villainize them, but like they actually did love you and believed in you, but I don't know, somehow your head, that's where self-sabotage comes in. What you believe about yourself and what these people are saying about you, they don't link, so it's not true to you. And also, you know, like, safe spaces allow you to be honest with yourself. Yeah? So you need to have that with yourself. Create a safe space for yourself, and also have people that where you guys hold space for each other, you know, because when you guys have safe spaces, you know, it allows everyone to be honest, it allows everyone to be themselves, and nobody has to feel like they are faking. And guys, I just want to like stop it right there, because I feel like I'm tired of talking. I just still want to have some me time, and I have works to do. We will continue and have a part 2 soon, guys. As soon as but yeah, anyway, if you have listened up until here, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to me talk and ramble and say things. And I really hope that you do find some value in what I said, and that this message resonates with you. You know, I hope that you caught some gems from what I said, and that it helps you somehow, you know. It wasn't a complete waste of our time. Yeah, guys, please continue to take care of yourselves. Remember to love yourselves, and yeah, we will connect again. You guys know the socials. My Instagram handle is my name, Spabazo_. And thank you again for listening to my podcast. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Goodbye for now.